Okay, so we've been talking about culture, now what do we do about it? So that's what we want to get to the meat now and in the stew. So we talked about the fact that under the iceberg is where we need to go dig. So a lot of these things, it's not a question of family culture good, performance-based not good, or anything like that. It's a question of understanding what you're coming into, what it's going to take for you to be able to integrate effectively to get your deal value. And depending on which side of the coin you're on, buyer or seller, even the seller has a lot at stake. So we're often asked, who has more interest in the work we do? I say both. Because sellers also have legacy issues. A lot of them, it literally will destroy them to see that their company that they built over 30, 40, 50 years is destroyed within 5. It's not even just about the money, right? So when you talk about the iceberg, so phase 1, back to Julie, what you were saying earlier, how do we get some data, right? So just like I'm going to ask for your financials, and I'm going to ask for you to open your books, I'm going to ask you for any employee engagement survey results you have. I want to know attrition rates. I want to go and do a little bit of my own sleuthing, like you were talking about. I don't have to necessarily show up to your place. I can go on Glassdoor. I can go on all kinds of social media venues and start to get a bit of a sense of what people are saying about you. Okay? If you are buying in an industry you already know, go poke around and ask people what they know about this company. People talk, okay? Especially when you're on a particular industry, if you're in logistics, trucking, whatever, everyone knows everybody.
All industries,
right? They all know who the players are. They know who to tell you, do not work for that company. Rip your eyeballs out before you take a job there. This is data, okay? This is all pre-acquisition due diligence. This is not even, I don't need to walk around your place, but I need certain data. I need to know how you measure performance today. I can give you a whole checklist of things you can ask the seller. No one has to know, right? You don't need to necessarily be sleuthing around in the business yet. Just like no one knows in the business you're asking for financials, or you're looking for any outstanding court cases or anything like that. That can all happen behind the scenes. So can a first touch into culture.
Do you talk to ex-employees?
You can, absolutely. And you can ask for exit surveys, right? Again, depending on how savvy the organization is, they may or may not have that data. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but to your point, Rita, there's ways. But you just have to have an appetite.
Their recruiter. Talk to their recruiter. Who are they recruiting? How often are they replacing people? That's amazing data right there.
Turnover, retention rates, and then some of the accessible, visible indicators, like I said, go find out what are the core values, at least stated. At this point, you don't know yet if they're lived, but I'll give you a quick example. If I go on someone's website and they say, we win, we're competitors, first to whatever, and I know that I'm a business that's more people first and whatnot, right there I'm going to ask myself, how would that work for me, right? I don't have necessarily this kind of appetite. So what happens if already I'm getting into a relationship where I know one's a huge driver, competitor, we're more customer, let's say, oriented, and we have a different philosophy. Now we get into phase 2. Now you're into more the integration. We can now, because now we have access, right? People know that there's a deal on the table. You can do culture assessments. There are assessments we use that will measure both cultures and see where the synergies lay and where the disconnects lay. And this becomes conversation. And it's a question of why did you buy in the first place? What was the vision? What were you trying to accomplish? How do we build this culture C? It's not culture A or culture B. And it's a process. There's all kinds of things will just beautifully integrate into each other. They don't. We've all had our stories. So